All right. So why don't we start introducing yourself and what you do, and then maybe talk a little bit about Adobe Express.
Great. So my name is Parimal. I lead Express product marketing in a global role, and I like to describe my job as just bringing the best of what Express has to all kinds of audiences, including the small business owners. So excited to be here with you. Some
So Adobe Express, they came out with some, at least one really big announcement or for at Adobe MAX. Want to let us know what it is?
Yes. Before that, maybe I'll just take 30 seconds to explain what is Express and the kind of,
Oh,
kind of
yes, go for it.
the vision behind it, right? What we found is for all kinds of businesses, including small business owners, there is a need for a design and a creative tool that can help them, grow their business ultimately. And it has to be very accessible, easy to use, and brings the best of Adobe. We felt that's a big opportunity for Adobe because yes, we are known for the flagship products, but why not bring the best of those products into one easy to use tool or an app that anyone can create promotional content, marketing content, small business content, and accessible wherever they are. Could be desktop, could be mobile, iPhone, Android, and it's a freemium product. So they can start free. And at some stage, if you want to get more, you can always go to the paid plan. So that's the kind of vision for Express. And you've had really good momentum with the small business owners. Now, to answer your question, the other exciting thing we just announced, and it's a big announcement we just made yesterday, was we announced for the first time ever all new AI assistant for Adobe Express. Now, why this is a game changer, and why all customers we have talked to are really like this is the right major feature to announce, is because what we have heard is templates are helpful. Yes, people went from the blank canvas to the templates. But what we hear, especially from small business owners, is that if you just use templates, your business looks like everyone else's business. And that's a problem for a small business owner. You ultimately want to differentiate yourself if you're, from the others. And this is where AI Assistant comes in. It makes something that is simple to use even simpler, number one. Number two is, yes, you can prompt. A lot of AI assistants can also prompt, but the game changer here is you can prompt and edit. So it's the prompt, anything and edit everything, which is powerful because sometimes people don't quite know what exactly they want. And prompting is still a skill. It's a language that is still evolving for all of us. So the hybrid combination of prompting and editing is a game changer. And behind the scenes, the way we have done this is very content aware. So the AI engine knows when you say something like change a t-shirt or change this, it knows what you mean, the object. And so it's very precise. So it gives you the best of prompting, so makes it simple. And it also lets you edit when you want to just take it over, right? And then the last thing I'll say about AI Assistant is it's powered by Firefly AI, which is safe for commercial use. And that is important for small business owners because you want to use AI that is not trained on other people's IP. You want to use AI that is ethically right. It's trained on the content that you have licensed the rights to. And that safeguards your business from potential trouble down the line. And so we are really happy to say that the AI that powers Adobe Express is safe for commercial use.
So I mean, you got to train it on something. So what do you train all of the
We have a massive, like millions of like Adobe stock content that we have licensed to, that we pay creatives for, and we compensate them fairly for that. And that is what we train it on.
Okay. And so they're not going to potentially go after people for
No,
utilizing.
no. I mean, that's the whole idea. So it's a bit of a buzzword, is safe for commercial use. And this is what I say, just to explain what that means for people, right? Is ultimately everybody wants to be treated fairly, right? Creatives also want to be treated fairly. So as a creative, you don't want your content to be trained by an AI and you don't get compensated for it. So we don't do that, right? So we have a huge collection of excellent, high quality stock content, whether it's photos, videos, GIFs, fonts, all kinds of things. And they're really high quality because we have to stand by the Adobe quality. And that's our contribution to all our customers, is that whatever you get, it's not just simple, but it's also Adobe quality. And the kicker is that it's all AI that is trained on content we have license to, and therefore it's safe for commercial use.
All right. So the press release that you put out talks about from concept to content in minutes. Can you share an example of how a small business might be able to use the assistant for real world projects, say social post, a flyer, or
Yeah.
product demo?
So you have to understand what makes a small business owner. What's unique challenges and opportunities for a small business owner? It really starts there. If you summarize, a small business owner has limited resources, not necessarily a lot of specialization, right? Limited resources and has to wear multiple hats. And the person could be a small business owner, also marketeer, also salesperson, also might be, actually doing the work itself. So, and then time is limited. So there's a lot of stresses, time is limited, resources are limited, and the skills are limited. Um, so the real world example for that would be, okay, given this constraint, like what are the kind of things they do and what is it ultimately the opportunity? Ultimately, the opportunity is for everyone wants to grow their business. That's why it's called a small business. They have to grow their business and they have to do so in a way that makes it authentic for them, helps them differentiate their product, their brand, their service from the 10 others who would also try to do the same thing. And so in practical terms, that means use cases like you want to create a logo, right? That stands out. You want to create a flyer that stands out. You want to create social media that drives more eyeballs and that gets more followers, because these are all things that are ultimately going to bring more audience and more customers to your small business. So from that perspective, Adobe Express works on desktop and mobile, iPhone and Android. So it's very accessible. They can start with the freemium product if they'd like to. Freemium is also commercially safe to use. And you can start there and start creating all these use cases. And AI Assistant will make it even easier. You can start with the template. You can change that with an AI Assistant. You can start with an AI Assistant and then start taking it over with editing. All types of permission combinations are possible. And you'll have in minutes something from scratch to completion based on your brand aesthetics. If you don't have a brand, you can create a brand kit in Express, and if you have a brand kit, you can import that, and that way anything that you create is sort of on brand as well. It looks like everything else you already have created, and consistency is key because that's ultimately your brand value. So I'd add maybe one more thing that I forgot. That's a good one too. Is the other thing we have seen in small businesses is you can also create ads. Small businesses can create ads. Ads up until now often was difficult to create, and you have to know what you're creating. It was quite sophisticated to use various ad managers. But what we've done with Express is we have done integrations with all the kind of major ad platforms. And what that means is you can create a piece of content. Let's say it's social. And if you like the piece of content, now you can turn that into an ad very quickly through our ad integrations, whether it's with TikTok, it's YouTube, now Amazon, Meta, and things like that. So a lot of the ad creation is in the creative. How good is the creative? And because it's Adobe content, often it's a higher quality bar, and therefore it just performs better. And it's easy to use. So now anyone can create an ad in minutes to drive the business forward.
Is there integration? I think I remember seeing like the curates and stuff like that on the demo that was on the keynote. So is there like integrations and can I do like A/B testing? And
Yes, you can. Yes, so there are integrations in the with the ad managers and Express. These are add-ons that you can add depending on which platform you want to create the ad for, and then it can tell you what it's going to perform before you actually publish, potentially what the reach is and what you could change before you actually publish. Okay, so that's pretty powerful.
What other kind of integrations does it have?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one. If you have a small business that is more geared towards business professionals as a service, let's say you're a consulting shop, your audience is going to be on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is a big partner, very keen to grow this because they see that people who can create businesses, who can create ads, just gets the word out faster. And now we've made this easy, so it's ads made easy, just like anything else made easy. So.
And I can get you information about all the integrations they have with the different app platforms.
Sure.
So
that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So what about small business owners who are just maybe a little scared of doing a prompt? They're thinking in their head, okay, I got to make it really good. I mean, what would you say for those people?
I'd say it is a lot easier than you think it is. And sometimes you just have to take the first step forward and not worry about getting perfection. As soon as you take this first step forward, is go just check out Express and create something simple. Create something simple, and you will find how delightful it is. It is based on whatever use case you want to create. You can create a flyer, you can create a poster, you can create a QR code, you can create a logo, whatever it is that you want to create. Take the first step forward. What we have found is as soon as you take the first step forward, the creative confidence shoots up, right? Seeing is, just by doing it, you believe. And then the second, third, fourth steps are incredibly easier. And in that process, play with it. I would just say take the pressure off, play with it. It's a tool that is going to help you grow your business, So go for it. And that's what we hear is a lot of the initial hesitation is sometimes almost in the head. Once you take the leap of faith, the first step is all that matters.
Okay, so Express includes millions of assets and templates. How does the AI assistant help users find the right look or layout faster, especially if they aren't sure where they want to start?
You can often start with a template for inspiration if you like, by just searching for templates, millions of templates. So no matter what type. So for example, Halloween is coming up right now. A lot of small business owners will often do seasonal sales and promotions to nap into the customer psychology. There's Halloween, there's Black Friday, there's holidays, there's December, right? So there are templates that are culturally relevant that are inspired by all these themes, for example. So you can start with as a theme, right? And then from there, if you have a brand kit you already have used, you can import that and make it like that. If you don't, you can set up a brand kit and you can start there. Let's say, you like a certain look, or maybe you want to refresh your brand. You set up a brand kit and then make assets that are very similar. And then the other magical part about Express is that it can resize. One of the delightful features thinking about how easy it is to use is what we found is when you like a design, or when you like something, okay, you created a flyer for Thanksgiving, let's say, where you're 40% off on your small business owner. Great, if you like it. Now you want to share this with as many people as possible, with as many platforms as possible. You'll often have your Instagram account or a Facebook account or a TikTok account or a YouTube account or whatever account that you're promoting your small business on. With one click, you can resize that asset into 100 plus different sizes. YouTube thumbnail, all kinds of things in just one click. It's magic proof.
Nice. Yeah. It saves a lot of time.
It saves a lot of time. And the other thing we have seen as a pattern is when you like something, you can make copies and start changing it. So if you like a poster for Thanksgiving, well, clearly you like it because it's your brand, you like some colors, it makes you what your business is about. It is unique to you. If it speaks to you, you can now make copies and only change elements that you need to change. For example, you can turn the Black Friday poster or a flyer into a Thanksgiving, into a New Year's, Halloween, Cyber Monday, spring sale, summer sale, what have you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So on branding, you mentioned briefly the brand kits and all that. Can you kind of go into a little bit more and how that can really help small businesses kind of stay on brand and also how maybe the person who's kind of making the brand kit wouldn't necessarily use it, but maybe like their employees. It's like setting it up.
Yeah. That's a good question. There are two questions you asked me there. What is this? What is setting up a brand kit mean? The second is like the collaboration, the partnership between various teams, right? On the first one, what is a brand kit ultimately, right? And the brand kit is simply how do you express your business? What is the logo? What is the colors? What are the fonts? The brand elements together they make a brand kit. Most small business owners have an idea for brand kit, even though that term brand might be a bit more marketing term, but they know what they are. There's a logo for whatever small business you have. So you have a brand kit. Can you just create that in Express that it's set up for all future users? So it's a simple process that we allow in Express to create your own brand kit. And now the question is, how do you scale it internally, right? What we found is often there's a marketing or a brand person, right, who will set this up. And then you want this to be self-served by various people in the company, right? So that they can all create this. And what you can do is you can create templates that include the brand kits and you can lock down certain elements. So if it's a flyer for Halloween, let's say, you're going to lock down the logo. You're going to lock down the type of font you can use because that's part of the brand kit. And then you can give it to your employees to say, you know what, remix this. And the things that are locked down cannot be changed. The things that can be changed, like text, can easily be changed. So Halloween can then become Black Friday, can then become Christmas, and those can be changed. And that's the collaboration piece we do. The other scenario we also do is often small business owners have an agency they work with, a small agency they work with, right? They may not do the initial setup in-house. And we see so many examples here with our ambassadors is these are small agencies, 1 or 2 person small agency, but they work with small business owners to serve them. And so the agency, which is essentially an external brand person, can set up these brand kits for the client, and then the client can self-serve these things all day long without needing to every time pay for the agency. There's a cost goes down. So there's a big cost saving, and there's a big empowerment. Why not use our people and a self-serve tool, and you can do this in-house very easy.
So are there any ways to ask for permission to go out of the locks? So say, for instance, you block down fonts, but it's Halloween and I want to use this slimy font that is not in the brand kit. Is there a way that I could then ask for permission to be able to use
Oh,
that?
yes. So Express is by design very collaborative. In fact, collaboration is built into Express. So every time a brand person can create a brand kit, obviously they have access to the files. We can request, you can have soft locks, for example. You can have hard locks and you can have soft locks. Hard locks are things that you cannot change. Soft locks are things that we don't recommend you change, but it's okay if you change, right? So there are things that you can do. Plus, we can collaborate, right? We are commenting and back and forth in terms of, hey, I like this, but actually on second thoughts, I want to change this. And then it's a conversation between the brand person and everyone in the company. It's very flexible in that way.
It really does, yeah.
The other thing I'll just say is sometimes based on how big the small business is, you can have multiple brands, right? So if you have, as a small business owner, if you have multiple brands, you can have multiple brand kits also. So there are concept of projects within that. So projects, certain people have access to projects, and that with the brand and the team people working on brand A versus brand B can have 2 different projects completely. It's very flexible and it scales according to the needs of small business owners.
Nice. All right. So for small business owners who may feel intimidated by AI tools, I mean, it's everywhere and they are getting bombarded left and right. And it almost feels like every week you have to learn something new.
Yeah.
What would you say to convince them that that Adobe Express is approachable?
I'll say I completely understand the sentiment. If you look back, AI came into our lives 3 years back, give or take. If you look back 3 years back, none of us had much knowledge about using AI, and look here we are, right? So sometimes it's give yourself more credit than you think, right? Give yourself more credit. You have, to all our customers, I would say, you already are well on the path of learning AI already in just very short 3 years, right? Second is, I would say, frame it as an opportunity for what you can do for you, right? And when you just take the first step, you will find, oh my God, like all the mundane things that I didn't like to do, it can now do it for me. And therefore, then I can focus on things that I really care about, doing that only a human being can do, right? The creativity that inspires us all, that makes us human, that is going to come from human beings. Thinking about your business, you need some headspace to think about your business. That's the number one problem we hear from small business owners is they're always like drowning, wearing multiple hats. So now this gives you space to think about your business by offloading things that AI can help you with. And about Adobe Express, if you notice, it's very flexible, right? You can use it when you want on your terms. If you'd just rather do simple editing, that's fine too. There's an option, to use it when you want and when you're ready for it. So it's not going to be forced on you, but it's very, very powerful, and we encourage you at least take the first step.
So what advice would you give small businesses just starting to integrate AI into their creative process? Where should they begin with Adobe Express?
I'd say first of all, I would just say definitely understand the risks of AI that is not safe for commercial use. And I say that because choice is a good thing for customers. There are lots of choices, but they're not all good choices. So I would just say, first of all, please read whatever AI you're going to use, read what it's going to be trained on. This is where we feel good about Express, both because we care about small businesses and also it's the right ethical thing to do. is to make sure the AI is trained on content and you have rights to that content. So that's the first step. Second is take your first step on your desktop or your mobile device of choice. It's Express supports wherever you are, and it's a free product. Try free, give it a shot. Create just one thing with AI or with the template. Just start somewhere, and you'll see what magical things it can do for you. And then after that, you will not stop using it.
All right, looking ahead, crystal ball. What's in store for the future? How do you see tools like AI Assistant shaping the future of small business marketing over the next few years?
I'd say the small business marketing, AI will help them, and Express tools. And Express AI is part of Adobe Express. So easy to use tools that are delightful to use and high quality and commercially safe will help them unlock even more opportunities than they would have otherwise today. It is a force multiplier. It is literally your hidden superpower for small business owners, particularly because of the constraints that a small business owner has. That you want a creative tool that is there to help you offload things that you rather not do. And then even when you do them, they're on brand and help you grow your business. I see that future just, multiplying. I also see people really appreciating how the value of being unique and having a unique, authentic voice and your brand show up as a small business owner. So you don't look like everyone else. And therefore, not using templates that everyone else is using. So this is an opportunity for you to get beyond your templates, beyond the templates, to create something that is truly speaks to your business.
Nice. Well, that's what I have for you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.